Hey guys, it's James.
And Nicole.
Ooh, and you're about to get into that delicious Marshland Media content you know and love so well, but first we have exciting news about the Patreon. Oh my god, what is it? We're doing a giveaway! Whoop, 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 whoop.
It's the Marshland Media Patreon Toku Bundle giveaway.
Here are the details, guys. From now until the end of February, you can go sign up at patreon.com/MLMpod on the $5 or $10 tier before February 28th. What will that do? The $5 tier gets you one entry, $10 gets you two entries for this giveaway. If you're already a patron, no worries at all. You'll be entered in the giveaway as well.
You may also be asking yourself, what's included in this Toku Bundle? We've got trade paperback copy of Ultra Mega Volume 1, my personal favorite comic book series that came out last year, Toei's Spider-Man pop figure, one Sailor Moon, and one Godzilla vs. Kong bag clip keychain, and a Lord Dracon and Rodan enamel pin.
Now you're probably wondering, how and when will the winner be picked? Well, guess what? I got that friggin' answer for you. The single winner, it's only one winner, will be chosen at random during a live stream on Saturday, March 5th, 6 p.m. Central Time. And just so everyone knows, the winner must be located in the United States of America and or Canada.
Once the winner is chosen, we will contact them for shipping information. If you have any questions, please let us know.
Ooh, that again is patreon.com/MLMpod. Full details are over there for you to read right now and for you to click that sign up button. Now, on with the show.
Please don't take this person out. Would you politely go to hell? Get the fuck out of my way, 'cause it's been one of those days.
Do you need this win right now?
No, you want to know?
happening?
Fuck you. I do this semi-professionally.
Seriously, listen to the Rugrats music.
It's Howard out here. Are you kicking me off the podcast?
2 thumbs down, Ric Flair. Go shit yourself. To bring it back to the Rugrats soundtrack.
No, James, not everything can be about you.
Fuck this song. It sucks. It's bullshit.
Ooh. I liked this song a
Oh,
lot.
man. Yeah, who's your friend with the hottest baby mama?
I'm not going to answer that question.
Heavy with edits and post, this is the only definitive introductory ICP playlist podcast. Now, here's your host, Sean Marciniak.
Hello, everybody. Yes, indeed. Welcome back to the podcast, episode 116. We have not done 116 of these episodes. James, you're looking at me like I already screwed up.
No, I'm here, sir.
Are you Ooh, I like that. Daddy likes that. Ooh, father likes that indeed. Yes. A little more gravitas to my name, if that's possible. Because, I mean, clearly, I got a gravitational pull the size of Jupiter. Ironically enough, also the size of my prostate. Just got to the hospital. And, oh boy, I am not doing well in the health sense nor the mental sense.
Jupiter is 2 million the size of your cocks. I don't know I don't know how big Jupiter is, so that could either be like,
you're
hey,
off, but I'll take it.
you
You're
have
off,
a
but I'll take
huge
it.
one, or you don't.
This-
But, Sean, what show is this?
Well, this is Never Not Fago. I almost forgot to tag the show. This is Never Not Fago, a definitely not cleared rip of Never Not Funny. If you don't know what Never Not Funny is,
you don't know what we're doing.
This is an interesting intro. Yeah, I was going to say.
This makes sense to us, fans of the show, and it should also make sense to, even if you don't know it, why we would be stealing something on today's episode.
It took me... Hey, James, guess how many songs it took me into this album to realize that's what they were doing?
My guess is... Hold on. I can actually look at the list, and my guess is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs once you get to Kraken.
I think it was about Kraken, yep.
Because that's a very noticeable 50 Cent wanksta.
That was so... We're jumping ahead of ourselves. Wow. But like, wow. And wow.
Well, it gets even more insidious on how they went about doing this, and we'll get into that later.
Okay. But first, like, let's go around the horn. James, I have not talked to you computer to computer since the holidays. How have you been, bud?
I've been well. I talked about because I've done episodes without you.
I know, and if I listened to this show, I would know what you talked about. I'm sure nothing but lovely, blisteringly beautiful things about me.
Well, spoilers. We also need to stop saying spoilers because it's not spoilers. I have not recorded the Blaze You Dead Homie episode. I'm recording that directly after this because there was a guest who wanted to be on that episode.
Is it Blaze You Dead Homie?
I wish that I could be like, dude, why were you saying the N-word back then?
Wait, so he was saying the end? Oh no!
I think even in this.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch it. Maybe I missed it. Because I'm pretty sure I went on record saying "Blaze You Dead Homie" was my favorite part of that album.
Dark Lotus.
Yes.
I don't think he was saying it on Dark Lotus, but he used to drop them so often back in the day. So did Twisted, not as often, but still did it. And Nicole was like, because I thought on the re-release of Most Tasteless, I thought they edited out those. And she's like, you should probably re-listen to that. And I was like, yeah, I really want to listen to Die Motherfucker, to the part where they say like, I want to burn the White House and piss in his face, something like that about the president. And the very poignant stuff about police brutality and stuff. But then there are white people dropping the N-word. And it's like, sir?
Well, because it was that freestyle a while back, too, that I like brought up. That freestyle with Dark Lotus. It's like, I don't think ICP have enough black people in their group or in the organization for someone to be dropping the N-bomb during a freestyle. And it turns out it's probably my favorite member of that. For me, not my favorite album. We had a whole episode talking about that.
Yeah. And I did in the Mirror Mirror episode, which was Twisted. I was like, I actually don't think Sean would enjoy this album because it is very angsty. It's very like, hey, teenagers to early adulthood, early 20s, just wanting to die and being like, I hate life right now. And it's very dreary and a little bit rock and roll.
Which is like, I like that in so many other things, you know? Like, before Morrissey turned into his final form, I loved the Smiths.
He's not final form yet, baby.
Oh gosh, that's terrifying. If Morrissey can get worse, that's my biggest nightmare.
You want to know his final form? He joins Congress and gets them to change the amendment where it says people, if you weren't born in the United States, you can't be president, to just anyone can run for president, and he's going to be president.
No, here's the thing. He does it. He runs. He loses to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Whoa.
That's the final twist. But like that's nothing but like I'm a teenage angst bag.
Yeah.
You know? And I love that. I don't know, maybe it was something going on in my head, but like for whatever reason that Dark Lotus album just really did not click with me on that level.
It rubbed you the wrong way.
It gave me the bad rubs.
You're like Mr. X and I'm quite complex, but I'm wrong.
Mr. X.
Are you aware of the Alphabet People, I believe is what their name is?
I'm familiar with the alphabet, not the Alphabet People.
It was a like puppet orientated, like the Muppets or something in like the late 70s, early 80s, I'm guessing. They were educational things where...
You showed me this.
I have?
Hold on. You have.
Okay.
I think actually when I was streaming for my birthday and we came up with the idea of the podcast...
Could be.
This podcast has its roots in the most... So please explain it, but one of the most disturbing YouTube videos you've ever sent me.
Oh, was it the I am Mr. X and I'm quite... Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is all coming back to me now. So it might be the letter people. The Alphabet People might be that transphobic shit that Dave Chappelle said.
Yeah.
Or just homophobic in general. We can say that.
Yeah, but like also specifically transphobic.
Yeah.
I think Dave went out of his way.
I mean, like, I'm directly talking about like the first, hey, these alphabet people. It's like, shut up, you fucking ass.
It's, I have many thoughts on all the specials. I don't know. I have many thoughts. I don't know all of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very, I don't know. I don't know how much to give him. And it'll be benefit of the doubt where like the joke is, I'm Dave Chappelle. I'm a dumb who doesn't get it. It's like, how much do I give him that benefit of the doubt? There's one in the last, I don't know how we got on this tangent, but in the last special, there is an egregiously hacky joke. And it essentially boils down to, I don't mind trans people, but oh no, what if a woman walks into the restroom with me and we're peeing standing up, and then she looks over my wiener, and then she likes my wiener? What do I do then? It's such like that's such like an old school that never happens to anyone.
Yeah.
It's hacky. Like not even on a social justice front. As a comedian, it's offensive because it's a bad joke, but it's so bad. This is why if you think too much, you should talk to someone because it fucks your whole life up. It's so bad that did he write a bad joke on purpose to highlight the idiocy that is transphobia? Is he playing the character? I know.
Because outside
the joke
of the
is so bad.
specials, yeah.
But that's the thing. The joke is so bad that like he at least knows how to write a well-constructed transphobic joke, and that's neither and it's not. So, yeah, that's what that's what I mean. I have a lot of thoughts, and I don't know any of them. At the end of the day, fuck off. You can do better.
You're pretty much saying like, you want to know what? Would rather you not be a bigot, but if you are, at least respect the art form of stand-up.
I mean, especially if you're Dave Chappelle. Here's the weird thing, like it's one of those like recommendation wise, if you didn't grow up on Dave Chappelle, don't worry about it. It's just another not great Sam special. Like, but if you did grow up on Dave Chappelle being the GOAT and like all this shit, you probably would go out of the way to see it anyway. Just make sure you're carrying a grain of salt as you watch it.
Yeah,
but I don't fucking know.
I haven't seen anything after Killing Him Softly because it's a great special. I don't know if anything holds up in it, but I remember going to Terry Ripley's house, him showing me it, and I'm like, holy shit, this is funny.
Yeah, it's very good. It's the hard thing. Like, even when you watch the newer stuff, it's like technically on in a structural point. You know what it is? It goes back to, I'm going to talk about this song every episode, apparently. The DMX Where the Hood At. Yeah. Technically, structurally, oh my God, what a banger. Then you listen to the content and you're like, oh no, sir. I respectfully disagree with everything you just said.
Weird Al should parody that as a beaver and saying, where the wood at?
Yo, finally. Yes, Al, get on the horn. Answer my emails. This restraining order can only hold for so long, Al. Let us direct your career.
But yeah, just so everyone knows, like, Dave Chappelle's a piece of shit. And even also he has not been respecting the art form for a long time. And I will say this, because you always heard stories in like the mid 2000s. Oh man, Dave Chappelle just went up at the Comedy Store and was there for 10 hours straight. Just think of how many fucking people he bumped.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was not planned. He just went up there and they were like, hey, man, he's here. And especially in Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, there are so limited spaces to do stand-up. If you're like, hey, I'm coming up. I need my rooms, baby. And then all of a sudden, this asshole's there for 10 plus hours being like, I'm ho. Like, what can you do for that long? I apologize. Sean keeps trying to talk, but go for it.
Because you're right, because I'm about to defend it. It's very old school, like that, especially at the Comedy Store, like that, that's very old school to see someone like do drop-in sets, especially like big names doing drop-in sets. And almost you kind of have to if you're working stuff, because if you're working out new stuff and you're a big name, you don't want a publicized show because you're not at a publicized show, but you're also a little too big to be hitting open mics at that point. So like you want those drop-in sets are very important. And Dave writes a lot on stage. Why am I defending Dave Chappelle so much?
Stop it.
I want to. Here, let me tell you. Can I tell you about my time in Buffalo?
Well, one quick thing. There's a difference
ahead.
between
if it's
him...
about Dave Chappelle, I'm walking the fuck out.
No, it's one last thing. I say this is incorrect because you never hear that about Chris Rock. Chris Rock goes up, he still goes to just rooms that have no people in it, but it's not like he's there for 10 plus hours. Also, like, how much material do you really have if you're there that long?
But I think it's also different writing processes. I feel like Chris probably writes more in the Notebook where Dave always wrote on stage.
Nah.
Like that, yeah.
Respect your fellow comedians and don't be an asshat. Go up there. Like, once you get, like, one good bit, be like, all right, I'm out. Or make your own fucking room, Dave Chappelle. You have the money.
To be fair, he did. That was a whole Ohio thing. I'm spending way too much time defending Dave Chappelle.
Buffalo, baby.
So I went to Buffalo for the holidays, and I mostly wanted to say this. I am utterly shocked by how many juggalos have been in my life without me knowing it.
Hell yeah.
I don't feel safe anymore. The big one, I don't know where these people are and if they've heard my opinions on bizarre versus bizarre. Because that's probably unpopular. But the big one, because there's a lot of people. I remember I went to an open mic in Buffalo because I haven't done stand-up in forever, and I'm still bad. Don't worry.
He was good, guys. He was good.
I went to this open mic, and it came up. It came up in conversation that one of the new comedians. I've been out of Buffalo for about over 3 years, 3.5 years. I don't know all the comedians. Some young pup that I've never seen before in my life. I probably popped my mic there. Don't worry about it. Walks up and like, hey, so I heard someone talking about ICP. His first like minute and a half, 2 minutes out of his 5-minute set was dedicated to the Insane Clown Posse.
Hell yeah.
What is happening? My buddy Brian, the big one though, someone I went to college with. He's another actor. He's a singer. Before the pandemic, he was touring with Gilbert and Sullivan, the guys from HMS Pinafore, and the very modern something general. It's musical theater. And as long as I've known him, he has had zero, and I mean like zero, modern pop culture musical references. Like you could talk to him like anything. The only music he's ever listened to, as long as I've known him, was musicals, classic musical theater, and like standards, like, you know, Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, like jazz standards or musicals. That's it. I sit down with him. We have lunch. The second I mention I'm in an ICP podcast, he immediately starts quoting word for word, I stab people, and my jaw drops to the fucking ground.
Hell yeah.
How do you go from I stab people to Frank Sinatra? And I think it's the thing you talk to, you probably know this a little bit better. If you talk to like lapsed juggalos, the second you bring up ice, there's a glow in their eyes.
Yeah.
Of like, it's the same way you talk to someone who used to be a wrestling fan is no longer a wrestling fan. They're like, oh yeah, I've been watching wrestling. They just like, their eyes glow up and they're like, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, oh my, like it's so, and it was there, that fucking glow. It scared the shit out of me.
My friend Monse, we used to do podcasts together. I'll Get There. Check out I'll Get There. Very funny, like 12 episode podcast. She was in management with me. And whenever at our old job, which that old job had a class action lawsuit with their employees, they sent me like a 400 plus check, baby.
Ooh, baby.
That place sucks. Obviously, they had a class action lawsuit with their employees.
Oh, gosh. That's terrifying, especially after the Amazon tornado.
Yeah.
Oh. Thank you, capitalist daddy.
Monse knew I loved, or in quote, you know, past tense loved ICP. And I guess I do now. Nicole's pissed that making fun of me for used to liking ICP is now backfired on her because now I just like ICP. But
It just reminded you how much you liked ICP.
yeah, and it made me be like, well, yeah, you want to know? Sometimes I dip in and out. I can do that,
Yeah.
Nicole. Oh, Sean wants to do a podcast, so I'm all in now. The stuff I thought I didn't like, I actually like, Nicole. Sorry. So Monse would have me whenever new people in management would come in to, I guess, like initiate them, would have me recant the history of Insane Clown Posse from Inner City Posse to the Sixth Joker's card.
Sure. And their eyes glazed over, the hole in the sky open wide.
Yep.
And if you were down with the clown, you ascended.
The end of time will consume us all. It ain't got nothing to do with us. It ain't Psychopathic Records.
Patchik.
What?
You said Patchik.
Yeah, that's how he says it in the song you'll find out on Shangri-La.
Ooh, spoilers.
But yeah, my eyes glow when someone starts talking about ICP because it's a niche thing that I know and can enjoy with another person.
Absolutely. Like that's the whole so much of my like life changed when I heard Scott Aukerman kind of told about the difference between Saturday Night Live and Monty Python when he was growing up. Where like everybody watched Saturday Night Live and everyone agreed it was very funny, but only a handful of people watched Monty Python, and because there was a smaller crowd, he felt that much closer to it. He felt that much more of a connection. It's the same. I mean, when I watch wrestling, absolutely. You know, every now and then you find someone who's like another wrestling fan, you're like, oh, we have something. If I talk, I know I freak out if I find anyone because I haven't met too many people who are listening to the Idols right now, and Idols are a great band. Also, I recommend checking out Idols, IDLES. They're fucking fantastic, but they're not super huge yet. So I'm just like, I don't know. They're my little. They feel like little children to you. You want them to do so well.
I feel that for Godzilla, I'm absolutely like that. And people will probably be like, well, what about Super Sentai? Super Sentai fans are, there are over 1,000 episodes of Super Sentai.
Yeah.
Some of the
and so many
series-
different types of
Yes.
super. Yeah.
Some of the series just aren't for me. And when I say one of those, people will be like, oh, you got, especially anything after, I think like 2002. Nicole and I are just not interested in watching because it's that time when CGI is just coming to the forefront. And on top of that, they make 50 plus episodes every year. You only have 3 weeks to work on CGI stuff. It's not going to be good. And no fault to anyone working on it. It is just the time constraints of that. So I don't care for that. I like the practical effects. I like it looking, kind of VHS-y. It's great. Shot on video. So when I bring up anything of that, people will be like, oh, have you seen Abba Ranger? I'm like, no, I don't want to watch any of that. Or, like, it's the 90s to this. And they're like, you should check it out. Q Ranger, Tokuger. And it's like, I do not have any interest in that. Stop jamming this down my throat. But for Godzilla, I love all of it. From 1954 all the way to 2021's King Kong versus Godzilla, but flop those.
Matthew Broderick Godzilla.
I even enjoy that. People always
Interesting.
And those are the kind of Godzilla fans that I don't enjoy. They're like, Godzilla versus King Kong was fine. At least it was better than that drivel Matthew Broderick one from the 90s. And it's like, it's no longer a cool take, guys. Stop saying it. Just enjoy things. Nicole got so pissed. There is, when I released King Kaiser X on Spotify and all of that, because I released it before then, and then I put it, that's why I was specifying, not telling people, hey, go check it out on there.
But also, hey, go check it out on there.
Yes,
King
please.
Kaiser X on mlmpod.com.
That as well, but also on Spotify and all that.
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't listening.
Okay.
I saw the opportunity for a plug and I just jumped in.
So,
Yes, but when you released King Kaiser X,
I did like a 6-hour stream just playing, or maybe it was 12-hour stream, just playing kaiju-related games. But for like 2 hours, I sat down and ranked all 29 Godzilla movies that are put out in Japan by Toho. And Nicole was so pissed off at some of the ranking of like, why? She's like, why did you put King Kong versus Godzilla so high? I was like, it's a fun movie. And she's like, there's brown face in it, James.
it's weird. You kind of take things into context, and it's how it hits you when you came up with it. I don't know. Me and the roommate were recently talking about the new West Side Story movie, right?
West Side.
And that's the one. But like, and whether or not it needs to exist or not. And I brought up, well, like, it might be nice having a West Side Story with Maria not played by one of the fairest skinned actors of all time, Natalie Wood. And I love Natalie Wood, but she is a white woman. She is very much a white woman trying to do a Puerto Rican accent.
Where the Natalie Wood at?
I gotta go home.
You are home.
I gotta call my stepmother to pick me up. But it was very good.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it.
Why your stepmom and not your mom?
I don't know.
It's the specifics that make things funny, guys.
I don't know. Step parents are funny as hell to me. If I ever do improvisational comedy again, and you ever see me do improvisational comedy, there is a 60 to 70% chance I will play a stepfather at some point.
Hell yeah.
It is my favorite character.
Stepdads are very funny in the classical sense.
They're so like, hey, you like me yet? Please,
Yeah.
do you like me yet?
I didn't have a stepdad until I was like 18, so it wasn't a big deal.
Okay, I never had a stepdad actually.
Whoa.
I know. My mom needs to fuck some more.
Your mom needs to put a ring on it. I'm kidding. If she doesn't want that ring, what if I started dating your mom?
Yo, I will. First of all, okay, hold on.
What if
I was going to
Nicole
say
and
I will never call you daddy. I will never call you daddy. I will call Nicole daddy, but I will never call you daddy. I want you to understand that.
What if Nicole and I became in a throuple with your mom?
Well, I told you the first part.
Okay.
I will never call you father. Nicole, probably. She, I respect and fear her, much like I imagine you would a father.
Yeah.
So,
you used to have a dad. You can imagine. Did you fear and respect your father?
Well, like, no, but he played jazz.
I don't know what
So like,
Vaz
that doesn't
is.
count. Jazz. I
jazz.
I mispronounced a one-syllable word. I am the Jimmy Pardo of this podcast. God damn it.
Yeah, dads who played jazz, or Vaz, as you like to say.
Faz. It's fatherly jazz. Faz.
Oh, Vaz. I thought you were putting a V on it.
No, I, again, can't pronounce a one-syllable word.
Okay. Yeah, fathers that play jazz, I could...
Don't deserve your respect.
Unless they're, whiplash kind of dad.
Okay, yeah, if you cannot keep their tempo... and it shows. Like, yeah, I would be fearful of that.
You want to know what that movie should have had? Other
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Just at the end, it turns out he's J. Jonah Jameson.
Because print media is dead, so he had to get another job.
Yes. What did that movie need?
It needed another kid coming in the room and just like. If the tempo is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, a kid coming in saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just getting a chair almost thrown at him as he ducks out because he fucked up the tempo.
What I wanted to see, and I don't know how we're gonna do this because he'll be too old by the time this movie came out, but DJ Jazzy Jeff to come in and fuck it up.
Ooh.
And then he gets Uncle Phil'd out of the room. Because it is one of the greatest television comedy tricks of all time. It's just cut to DJ Jazzy Jeff. Whoa! I could watch a 5-hour loop on that. YouTube, get on that.
I'd like to see Whiplash, but it is for crabbing and DJing. Okay. Like crabbins, and it's DJ Jazzy Jeff screaming at a 19-year-old DJ, and they're like, crab faster. No, you're not on tempo for the crabbing.
Oh, but he has to start small. It's like, that's not the crab. Try it again. Because that's the scary thing about that scene is because it starts. I need to see that movie, actually.
I know.
Because I love that scene. Here's the thing. I love that scene, so I want to see the movie.
I think it perpetuates people being assholes because there is no comeuppance at the end, really.
So you have seen it?
Yes.
But is he clearly... Because I'm okay with no comeuppance as long as he's clearly defined as the villain.
Okay, yeah. All right, then it's fine.
Okay, that's the thing. If you walk away, it's like, oh, he didn't get paid back, but at least we're all clearly against him. Like, that's more important.
But at the end, doesn't it seem like, we're
haven't
friends
seen it.
again? Oh, you haven't seen it at all?
No, I've never seen it. I want to
okay.
see it.
All right.
Because I love that scene. Because I've seen that scene. That's not my tempo. I love that scene. That scene's so chills. So I want to see the movie. But like now I know maybe they're friends at the end.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
I think it might be like that if I remember it. Or like they're kind of on good terms. Instead of him just being like, wow, that dude should be canceled and should no longer be teaching children.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's so many. I think I've talked before about how so many of my teachers can no longer teach children, and it's frustrating. Hey, thank you for imparting all of your wisdom to me, you creepy drunk bastards. All of you, apparently.
Hey, have you been eating Cheddar Bay biscuits? Because what you're doing is a fucking lobster, not crabbing. That's one that could be one of the.
Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, that's a good line.
Yeah. All right. Let's
I'm
write
excited
the
for-
fucking movie.
Let's write this script.
It's spec script that is also fan fiction. We cannot do this.
Absolutely. No, we can't do this. Nobody tell Jimmy Pardo what we've done here today.
Fanfiction.net will hate us because we'll actually be popular. Ooh, heat on fanfiction writers.
You fucks. You absolute trivial fucks.
On What the Hell Mouth during like the pandemic when we just couldn't record anything, I was starting to read fan fiction, and there was this one person who it's like, they clearly know what they like, and that's like gaped assholes by like other women, like lesbians gaping each other's asses.
Okay. It's important to know that what you like, though. I think I'm jealous of that person. Cause like anytime I'm like in a dating situation or like a new romantic situation, and they're like, so what do you like? Most of my responses are Tim Allen's, because I don't know what I want. Yes.
Yeah, I'm someone who knows what he wants.
Mm-hmm. And that's gaped ass fan fiction.
Oh no. I mean, did it make me horny? Yeah.
Yay.
But I enjoy like Urine.
Sure. It's a great musical. Urinetown's a great musical.
Like the feeling of a butthole on your tongue as the woman is orgasming.
That's my favorite Frank Sinatra song.
And mainly just women orgasming.
Ew.
Shut up, John. That's because you've never experienced it.
Never have, never will.
Yes, you will. I guarantee
Absolutely
it.
not. I will never allow a woman to orgasm in my vicinity.
I know this is
Absolutely not. Get out of my building.
This is a terrible transition to this question. Because just forget what we
you
just
have
said.
a history of terrible questions on this podcast.
Do you live with Torchyberry?
I do not.
Okay, because it was a bad transition because we were just talking about like.
Oh yeah, that's a terrible
Yes,
transition.
But I was like, I see your apartment behind you, and I don't know who
Thank
your
you.
roommates are, but I'm like, I've always assumed you and Torchyberry live together.
I hate how like quickly I answer that, like, oh no, that seems fine, and then I remembered it wasn't the content I was supposed to be worried about.
No,
it was the transition.
yes, it was just one subject to another.
She's allowed to experience orgasms as long as it's not near me. Nobody comes, man, woman, small rock with genitalia. Nobody's allowed to experience orgasms near me. Them's the rules. That's my tempo.
Not even you're allowed to orgasm.
Absolutely not.
You're just edging. You're tantric. You're poison, baby. Sting. Damn it.
Poison. Yeah, it's Sting. I am WCW superstar, AEW manager, and all-around painted face guy, Sting!
Well, Sean, speaking of people who don't have painted faces, they have do-rags on their faces when they perform the Psychopathic Riders.
So I know nothing about this side project. I assumed you were going to kind of talk us through it.
All right,
okay.
So we are doing Check Your Shit In, bitch, from 2004 because I think...
No comma.
Yes,
Interesting
no comma.
No use of comma.
Check your shit in, bitch.
Check your shit in, bitch.
Also, it's just check your shit in, bitch. There's no exclamation, maybe.
No, there's like it's just it's a request more than it is a statement.
They're like, we dumping on this punctuation. Blah, blah.
Check your shit in, bitch.
Get the fuck out of here. We're okay with the letter people, but the fucking punctuation posse. Blah, blah, blah,
The fuck out. Get the fuck out.
I am on record saying I fucking hate the psychopathic writers.
Interesting.
Because I think they're corny. They started doing this because people kept saying, oh, they're wannabe gangster rappers. In the first album, they're like, hey, if that's what people think we are, let's do this. Most of the albums, I think, were released during Gathering of the Juggalos, maybe. I think that's when this one was released. It would make sense of like, hey, it's a one-off thing, that's cool. But once you do 6+ albums as these characters, it's like, no, you are now serious about doing this. This is not a parody. This is not like you experimenting at all. Also, it would make sense if it's like, hey, you want to know, I just want to go in there and rap. I don't want to worry about, I want to like use this as a way to work my rhyming muscle, my rapping muscle, which I've done that. To just do
and they do in some of this. I don't know who's who, but I'll
tell you.
Quick spoiler: is Bullet Violent J?
I believe so.
Because Bullet sounds like good? Question mark. I was like if Bullet's Violent J was stretching, like he was working. I think he was working out some like flow muscles really well.
Okay, so here's my opinion on this. Only Blaze and Isham are convincing in these characters. Madrox and Shaggy at least sound hype. Monoxide is at least really good at technical rapping. ABK is fine. And Violent J is a clear and apparent parody of gangster rap. If everyone is trying to be sincere, Violent J did not get that message.
Oh, wow. And Violent J was like... And when we go through, I have like a couple song here or there. I think this isn't the first time I've done this. I was like, oh. I was taken aback by some of Violent J's work on this.
This is one of my favorite periods of Violent J, but Psychopathic Rider, Violent J, Bullet, as I should say, sucks. So let me go down all of their aliases.
Okay.
Violent J as Bullet.
Yes.
Shaggy 2 Dope as Full Clip.
Okay.
Jamie Madrox as Lil Shank.
Lil Shank? Oh, shucks, guys, it's me, Lil Shank. I'm just here to take necks and steal hearts.
Now, you'll be able to speak in that voice with the Monoxide Child, but not as Fofo.
No, Fofo is terrifying. I have hold on.
What's
in
up?
The intro, because I think this is the perfect place to bring this up, because we're not going to talk about the intro. They're introducing everyone. It's like, this is this guy. Hey, and I have a line. Fofo sounds so surprised to be there. / he just woke up. It's like, and my man on the hood is Fofo. Huh? Oh, hello. It's like he was just so. No one told him he was on the album, and it's just like, oh shit, I gotta write something. It was adorable.
And Bullet says, "Watch like pimpin'," and I was like, "Shut up, dude." Blaze You Dead Homie as Cell Block, Misery, which we don't. He was on just previous albums as Twin Gats. ABK, Anybody Killa as Sawed Off. Isham as Converse, which was only on a couple ones. And Boondocks will be in further releases as Young Dirt.
Yeah, and took me so long. Again, way too long for me to realize what they're doing. And we'll clarify it here. In this album, they take a lot and like well-known songs.
Yes.
They're sampling, and there's like famous songs they sample and just put their own verses on them. Put their own verses, put their own choruses, but taking the songs almost one for one.
Yeah.
It's the closest you probably get to a hip-hop cover album, I feel like.
Except, I mean, like, it's just remixes or like semi covers because like they're not doing but they are following the same exact structure of the original songs.
The reason I say it's the closest you can get to a hip hop cover album is because to actually just straight cover, I feel like defeats so much of the point of hip hop. If you were to like line for line just repeat someone else like that point, that's just bad karaoke.
Yeah,
like that's not you can't really cover like that. So the closest you get are these like the structure is 1-for-1, the sample and the beats are pretty 1-for-1. And again, we'll get to them. Some of them, I'll say this because it took me so long to like realize it. I haven't listened to all the songs. I do have the list of samples pulled up. I don't know all of them.
I also have the which yours might be slightly wrong. If they say there's a Cool Keith song sampled, that is incorrect.
No, I got to listen to that song too, because apparently that's the song where he specifically says, I do not want to collaborate with ICP.
Yes, exactly.
And Lord, everyone knows how I feel about Cool Keith. Big thumbs up. No, I have, the list I have up is from...
I had the same one as well, yes.
We are on so many watch lists right now.
No, we're not. Oh, yeah, I guess because it's like the FBI says we're a gang.
We're a terrorism. Hooray.
Also, I'm going to bleep out the website you said because I don't enjoy that website.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I don't know it well enough. Because they also point out up top, like, a lot of... I imagine it's like a video game nerd correcting you on how to properly play Dark Souls. Now, a lot of people misconstrue this fucking Cool Keith song, blah, 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 blah. I don't know why I went into that. It was so important for me to half-ass that voice, and then realize it was just a bad Jerry Lee Lewis. A bad Jerry Lee Lewis, yes.
Can I keep explaining
Please.
How they got away with this?
Okay, yeah, because you mentioned they didn't pay for any of it. None of this is like official.
And I don't know how they're able to put these things on Spotify and stuff unless they came to an agreement with these people to be like, hey, we can split streamings. They started a record label called Joe and Joey Records. To put out this, they put out only Psychopathic Rider stuff and the first Psychopathics in Outer Space, because I'm pretty sure you can't find that anywhere online for streaming services because I'm guessing uncleared samples.
Yeah.
So they created this label so if anyone came after them, they could just disband the record label and it wouldn't affect Psychopathic in any way or shape or form.
That's so tricky. It's like an offshore bank account.
Yeah.
But for stolen samples. Mm-hmm. Man, say what you will about Insane Clown Posse. Their lack of talent, their juvenile sensibilities. How Fago, as soon as you get Fago on you, you have Fago on you for the rest of the day. Yeah. Say what you want about them. But God, they're clever. Fuck, they're clever as hell. And they're clever as hell business people. Like, that's the thing. I feel like they've been playing this game of like being your own record label close to the vest for so long. God damn.
The only issue I have with it is they did this. They did
it was morally
that.
reprehensible.
Yes. Especially for this fucking atrocious concept they had. Like, they're not gangsters. Like, some of them sold drugs, but they're not out shooting people.
Yeah, it's weird. Which is why when we get to Kraken, for you to specifically use Wangsta, is like, that's bold.
That's a hat on a hat, baby.
So many hats and so many hats, a whole lot of heads, but not enough brains, if you ask me. Boom shakalaka from downtown.
You're heathen. Man,
like,
one quick tangent.
Yeah.
I found out that Jellystone Parks, like the campgrounds, have Yogi Bear gift shops. So I'm like, Nicole, we have to go to one of these. Have you seen my Yogi Bear collection recently?
I know you got some new pieces for Seasons. Oh, no one else can see this, by the way. This will probably be cut out because it's terrible audio.
Oh no, I'll post.
So
I'll post. I mean, I've posted pictures. Man, yeah.
I like that game. Did you have that game before?
No, I got that for Christmas. Nicole gave it to me.
That's
We'll be streaming it. We'll stream that board game.
Yeah. There's some odd, like licensed board games are odd sometimes.
This one has such a cool mechanic. It is Yogi Bear needing to run after, and like, he knows there's a picnic going on, so he is of course going to get that. But there are many spaces that like trap Yogi if you land on them. Mm-hmm. But you roll a dice and you can do one of two things: move Yogi or move Boo Boo. But Boo Boo is there to always stay behind you in case you get caught in something. Once Boo Boo's piece moves past Yogi's, Yogi is untrapped. And I believe there might be a Ranger Smith piece, but you're trying to beat your friend to get to it's a nice game mechanic.
Yeah, that sounds fucking. I like that. Anytime a game can use like, I don't know. I like strategy in my games. I like strategy in my board games. I guess I'm just kind of an intellectual like that.
Whoa.
I'm on an ICP podcast. I'm a syntellectual. Because I'm all about that sin, baby. I am Titus's father. Final Fantasy. Anyway.
Yeah. I assumed.
You assumed that I was Titus's father?
Yeah.
You'd be wrong. I'm Titus's stepfather, motherfucker.
No, I mean, I assumed you were talking about the Final Fantasy X character.
Yeah.
The Kingdom Hearts 1 character.
No, that's who I was talking about. I was talking about Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, hell yeah.
I refuse to follow the Final Fantasy lore.
Yeah, it sucks, guys. Final Fantasy 2 thumbs down. Have I spent more time playing Final Fantasy games than any other video game in my life? As a child, did my brother, sister, and I have multiple saves over 100 hours on Final Fantasy 8? You better believe it. But 2 thumbs down, I'll never play one of those games.
Have we spent more time talking about literally anything else other than this album, this podcast?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay.
This album's so weird. It's so weird.
They started with Dumpin' that came out in 1999. I said that to Nicole, and she's like they're shitting on people? What is going on? And I was like, no, it's a slang for shooting people.
Oh. Also, teabagging, probably.
Maybe. Now, I don't think dumping would be... I'm going to dump my...
Yeah, I'm dropping my dump on them after I dumped them. I'm dumping and dumping.
Nah. And then you had Riding Dirty, then Check Your Shit In, Bitch, which as a teen, this was the one I listened to mostly because of one song on here.
I do have to correct you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
What's up?
It is Riding Dirty.
Oh, it's fine. And then there were like 3 others that came out, but in 2019, I believe, somewhere around there.
Yeah, they have 2020 on the website.
Oh, 2020 is when... No, really? They put that out in 2020?
According to the website that shall not be named.
So, Magic Ninja Entertainment, we'll talk about this in more depth when we get to the 2020 era, pretty much just stole this concept, even though like most of the members of the original Psychopathic Riders are on Magic Ninja. So it kind of, I mean, it's fine. If you are stealing Beats ICP, you should have assumed this would happen to you.
Mm-hmm. No honor among thieves.
Pretty much the entire roster of Magic Ninja Entertainment went and did this. It's weird that Axe Murder Boys were never on any Psychopathic Rider stuff. I don't know if they're on the Rydas, though. I would feel like they would be.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Who was the guy that was unceremoniously, pardon the pun, axed?
Mars.
Okay. What if Mars shows up on the Rydas out of nowhere?
Oh, man. I don't think it would because, 1, he's like a Christian rapper now, and 2...
Still so funny to me.
I think...
You always were a Christian rapper.
Yes.
You just didn't know it back then.
Man, you saying that they're in a youth group band, I was listening to Shangri-La. I was like, fuck, man, they are in a youth group band.
That's the one thing, and it's like, especially going back to Buffalo and like talking to Laps Juggalos, it's like I'm like, and they're such a Christian band. They're like, wait, hold on now. I'm like, no, go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
Like, once you know it now, it's been there the whole time. It's fucking wild.
Yeah, and Shangri-La is peak, like, because they get Zug Island, who is a rock band, and it truly is like, oh, I'm at a youth group, and they're trying to be like, cool.
These guys have arms wide open from day one.
There are some songs that sound like that, but...
Yes. Oh, finally.
Speaking of that, when there was a car crash that killed 2 of my best friends and then like someone who was in our friend group when we were in high school, and there was, because it was a drunk driving accident, that went into the lexicon of parents talking like, well, what do we do for our children? Well, it's Muskegon. You don't do anything for the children. So, let's do an all ages venue. No. There might be children drinking there. Okay, well, what about a skate park? There might be children drinking there.
That's the point of these places.
Exactly.
Oh gosh.
man. Oh man.
Not,
there's
hold on,
great-
let me clarify. Not to let children drink. The point of these places is to give children a place to hang out. To not. I realized when I said it, it sounded like I was like, "Yeah, you open up a youth center so you can give kids a place to drink." No.
I understood what you were saying.
Okay, good. There's a child somewhere out there. There's a child looking to drink who is going to use my words against me, and I won't have that. That's not my temple.
One quick thing that solidifies this understanding, or two things. One. Just like there were 3 families pretty much who owned Muskegon's like downtown areas and just didn't want to sell. So for the longest time, downtown was just shuttered and bad.
Do you know why they didn't want to sell? Was it money or was it like pride?
I think a combo of both.
Okay, because like what's the money? There's some places like that in Buffalo that like you drive by, especially... so the west side of Buffalo got some great renovation. The east side still looking, and it's and you'll drive, especially down Clinton, and you see all these like boarded up businesses, and you hope it's that no one's moving in because like what's the money in not selling?
Yeah,
right. I would imagine like no, I want this to be something. You sell it. Like what are you gaining by sitting on it?
I think when the mall that was downtown was destroyed and then put somewhere else. That plot of land, people that I think they were like, well, we could get more money. It probably was money, but I knew people who started this thing called the Donut Hole. It was an all ages venue, very small, and it was success. But people were like, oh, must not have been pulling in a crowd. They shuttered after a month, but that's because they had it open. Then the city came to them and was like, oh, if you have this capacity, you need X amount of parking spots. They were in a like business area. They went to all these businesses right next to them saying like, hey, it will only be during the nighttime, not during your business hours. We will pay you monthly for these spots. Can we? All of them said no.
Oh.
And even before that, like they came in and they were like, well, you have fire hazards or like your building isn't up to code, which would be on the landlord, not the people that were leasing it. But they did all those renovations, sunk money into this, only for the city to keep saying no. But back to my friends dying in high school.
Yeah.
They were like, where do kids go, this and that? And it was this town meeting taking place at my high school. And there was a pastor up there, and he was like, kids should, feel welcome to come to the church and hang out there, this and that, youth group. And I like raised my hand and like I stood up and I was like, hey man, as a Satanist, I know I'm not welcomed there. So that doesn't give us any place to go. Well,
James, I do have to ask you, how many sentences do you start with as a Satanist? At this time in your life, at this period of your life, how many sentences did you have to start as a Satanist? I, in good consciousness, cannot endorse this Krispy Kreme donut.
Talking to like my family about abortion.
Sure.
I say, as a Satanist, there's like satanic abortions. It's religious freedom, so you better let it happen, Texas. The Satanic Temple, I believe it is. Not the
Yeah, they're killing it.
Yeah. But I know the Church of Satan is still kind of, get out of here, bros.
Here's the thing, I don't know how I feel about Juggalo. Well, I don't know how I feel about Insane Clown Posse. I do know how I feel about Satanists. Yeah, baby.
Hell yeah.
Big yeah. Hell yeah.
And we're talking about for real Satanists, devil worshippers, not you LaVeyan Satanists out there.
Yeah, a word I totally know and understand.
So I say that I shut down this minister priest.
Yeah.
Kids
hang out.
Like a couple days later, front page news is this town hall, and I am quoted saying that. They say, high school student James McCollum, and my fuckboy aunt comes up to me and says, hey, you and I have the same last name.
Deal.
So I have to explain that to my friends. I have to
deal with it.
You're not really a Satanist. I was like, yes, I am. Eat me, bro. I wish I would have said that. I wish I would have been like,
eat me, bro.
Eat me, bro.
Yeah, it's. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's. I forgot why we were talking about that, but that's a fucking good point.
Yeah.
Eat me, bro. Hail Satan.
Well, let's get into this album track by track because I'm pretty sure I have explained what needs to be explained. My only
and I will
notes.
say, yeah.
for each of these is just the hooks, because I think those are the hooks vary from being great, amazing, or fantastic. The verses leave sometimes wanting more.
Don't forget, we have to pick a song.
Oh, I know the 2 songs.
Okay, great.
And
wait, the 2 songs.
Yeah, because
you know my song.
No, I think I know. I can convince you of the 2 songs, and I think you'll be like,
we'll talk.
yeah, because there's reasoning behind the 2.
I do want to say before we get into track by track, how difficult this album will be, and hopefully, we say this every time, we'll breeze through it, because how do we critique something that's like already been done?
Yeah,
especially some of the bigger ones.
And before we go on, let's find out what was on the charts of this July 15th week.
2004.
And we are doing the independent charts because now ICP might come up. Twisted came up on theirs. They were number 5, baby.
Yeah. ICP, the Dr. Dog of Detroit-based clown hip-hop.
Yeah, I guess.
Indie bands, anywho.
Okay, you could have said Bright Eyes. You could have said the Front Bottoms.
Both are like... Bright Eyes and Front Bottoms are like a little too big to be like proper indie. Shouts out to Dr. Dog. Those guys are fucking great. And if you haven't listened to Dr. Dog, fucking Dr. Dog is great.
And if you haven't seen their recording studio, check out This Song Stinks.
What makes this song stink? Da-da-da-da.
Coming in at number 5.
Shouts out to Beato, Original Juggalo.
Me and My Brother by Yin Yang Twins.
Yin Yang Twins are indie?
Yeah, but this is the album before they put out United States of Atlanta, I believe was the album.
Okay.
That had like
really?
Whisper Song and all of that on there.
One of the strangest songs to like... I get why it blew up. It just still blows my mind.
Yeah,
it's just a man whispering, wait till you see my dick. I'm like, well...
And also...
funny. It's so funny.
Then David Banner also does a Whisper Song that is very progressive. You know, there's issues with David Banner's thought processes on some issues in the world, but he made a hit song about a man, and the prime focus of the song was making a woman come. Pretty progressive for rap music.
Keep him away from me.
Oh, Sharna's cheering right now.
Sharon does nothing but come. Keep her away from me.
Yeah, just rolling in buckets of cash.
She comes via capitalism.
Off of parents' money.
Ugh. What's the fourth? What's the fourth song in this here chart?
At number 4 is One Monkey Don't Stop No Show by Goody Mob. Coming in at number 3 is the Vans Warped Tour 2004 compilation by various artists. Coming in at number 2 again by various artists. Man, they had 2 albums on the top of the charts.
Various artists having a great year.
Yes. The Source presents Hip Hop Hits 8. And finally, coming in at number 1 is Atreyu with The Curse.
Damn.
There was a lot of crunk music on the indie charts back then.
Oh, yeah. Well, crunk was probably just like blowing up.
Yeah.
Not just starting, but just starting to really blow up. Mm-hmm. That totally makes sense. That especially like, because I feel like in 2004, they're at that weird stage of like, it's huge, but it's not quite mainstream yet.
Yeah.
Which is a very fun time to be a part of something, I feel like.
And I think it's like 2006 or 2007. That's when it goes mainstream. And ooh, baby, it sucks. Nelly's Grills. Yeah, your grills. That's when it all went downhill for me.
I will say, I don't know if I've said this before, but a huge reason I didn't get into hip hop until after college was because when I was going to high school, all the hip hop, like the music I experienced that I knew I didn't like, all that radio and like school dance fucking bullshit was all what was this like mainstream MTV safe hip hop.
Like Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, you know what? Getting older and like knowing how hard it is to make money doing this, fucking get your payday.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was admittedly a snotty little shit accusing everyone of selling out.
Yeah.
Get your payday. But like it really did like keep me keep me off of more than a genre. Because like hip hop is more than just a single genre. It's fucking huge. There is so much, it's in that sense, it's Sentai. There are so many, there's so many different avenues for it.
It's the most malleable, I said this on the Twisted episode, the most malleable music genre that you can get.
Yeah, and I hate so much that, especially because it was crunk, it was the blow up of crunk and like how easily that was to put on the radio and to put into school dances and to like really get into all these, how much that blew up. Because it's not them. I'm not blaming them. I'm blaming everything else. Maybe I'm blaming me. I don't know who I'm blaming. But it just kept me away from like fucking really good music for a very long time. And that sucks. I hate that. But I'm glad I got to see the Ying Yang Twins' dick. That's exciting.
And also, it, in some ways, prevented you from listening to shitty music like today's subject.
Oh my gosh. So do we have anything? Yeah. Do you have anything to say about the intro?
No, we already talked about it.
Okay. I'm going to put this out there again. Took me a real long time to realize what this album was doing. Time to Ride is the first full-on track.
When it's time to ride, we ride deep.
I have one note for it.
Okay.
It is a small drawing of a thumbs up. Because I didn't realize it. I couldn't figure out for the life of me what the sample was. And I'm like, I fucking love this track. It's Annie Up.
Yeah.
And Annie Up is a great fucking track. Annie Up's fucking great. So I'm like, of course I like knowing what I know now, of course I love that song. Annie Up's, I love fucking Annie Up.
Yeah.
Cause when it's time to ride, we ride deep. When it's time to ride, we don't sleep. We come bust and bang. We come bust and bang.
That's my only note.
Okay, which is those are just the words.
Yeah. Also, I mean, if you see, these are my notes. I just printed out the hooks for every song.
If I may, oh boy.
Because that's also the only way I could remember any of these songs.
I mean, yeah, it's fair. I just listened to the album before coming on.
I listened to this album 10 times this week, and I still
too much.
Would not know because I was like, man, I gotta come up with notes for this trash.
Something. No, we're gonna get through. We're gonna kind of plow through this one.
For my riders.
All right, so I still don't know what this album's trying to do yet. Very G-Funk. Is my note. I can't believe how G-Funk these guys are going right now.
I can't believe how, this sounds like Bay Area rap music right now.
It's so embarrassing how long it took me to realize what they're doing.
Also, as someone who grew up listening to a lot of mixtapes where people would do this as, just means to an end, I've heard 20 other people use these beats as well. So that's how I would know, oh, yeah, this is some mixtape shit.
Yeah. Also, because E40, the only thing I know about E40 is that I need to listen to E40.
He's one of those people that I can't get into his flow.
He's one of those people, all I know is he's a lot of my favorite rappers' favorite rapper. And I always want to give them a chance, at least to see where they come from. I think that's very interesting. But sometimes that's the... Shoot, you know what? I'll say this about Jerry Seinfeld. I don't blame people for not being able to get into Jerry Seinfeld for a similar reason. It's that flow. But old school Jerry Seinfeld was very influential.
You gotta stop giving props to problematic stand-ups on today's episode.
What other kind of stand-ups are there?
I don't know, Aparna Nanshala. She's not problematic. She plays a white boy in the Great North.
I do love Aparna. She's hilarious.
Man, she's dope.
Yo, you know what? Yeah, here's the thing, because you've all heard of Jerry Seinfeld, and the whole point of Jerry Seinfeld is that nobody likes him now, but he was influential. But listen to Aparna. Everyone loves her for a good reason. She's fucking amazing.
I want to see Maria Bamford.
I want to see Maria Bamford as well.
Joe Firestone and Aparna Nanshala do a show together, because that would be the most... because Aparna, I feel
Joe
like...
Firestone. Oh, she's so good. She's so good.
Both of them have the same cadence, but one is morbidly depressed and the other is optimistically depressed.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Print that shit. Absolutely.
Man, do you watch Joe Pera?
I don't. So I missed the last 2 seasons because I don't have HBO or whatever it's on. But I fucking love Buffalo's own Joe Pera.
Man,
absolutely.
It's so fucking good.
He's amazing. That show, Joe Pera Talks to You, is fucking amazing. Cannot recommend that show enough. You foolish listeners.
And
go watch this show.
I've tweeted it to Pure Michigan of saying that Joe Pera, they should be paying Joe Pera because no show has made me be like, wait, you want to know what? Michigan's actually pretty okay. Then Joe Pera, because it's in the UP, shot on location, and it's so fucking good. Also, it will tell people that the UP exists. Did you know the Upper Peninsula is a thing?
I always thought that stood for under penis. I thought they were shooting that show under Joe Pera's. Please stop this sentence.
I thought just you would stop it, but
I can't.
A lot of my friends don't know. Even people from Chicago don't know the Upper Peninsula is a thing in Michigan.
I mean, I knew it because that show. That's when I learned it. When that show first, because I was a huge Joe Pera head. Joe Pera. Yeah, that's what we call ourselves, Pera heads.
Zero fucks, Boyd, baby.
I'm trying to remember. I think I first heard of him. Someone's like, you should check out this Cartoon Network Adult Swim special, which is where like he kind of first blew up. And then as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, I love this brand. I love how this is funny. It makes me feel good. It's very positive. And so like you start going back and like looking through all his YouTube stuff. He has one of the most thoughtful Buffalo Bills are a terrible football team. It's back when we were a terrible football team.
Still are, baby. I don't see
a
fucking
playoffs,
ring
baby.
On your finger.
Yo, don't even worry. That's because we're still fucking around.
All right, okay.
Daddy.
I know nothing about football, guys.
Buffalo Bills were a laughingstock for years and years. Like literally a late night punchline. We went to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row and lost every one. Yeah. And then after that, we spent 18 years without a playoff appearance. We were a terrible football team. And Joe Pera puts it fucking beautifully of just like, well, of course, they're purposely a terrible football team so that when the playoffs come around, fathers get to talk to their sons again and do all these other activities. It's amazing. Joe Pera, like YouTube Joe Pera Buffalo Bills. It's fucking chef's kiss.
See, when you said, oh, I think this is where he blew up, it was the Chris Gethard show.
Oh wait, I didn't watch the Chris Gethard show.
So, dude, you need to go back and watch all of them.
Are they on YouTube?
Yes.
I could. Okay, cool.
The first 200 are on YouTube still.
Ooh, then I will specifically seek out the Joe Pera one because he's fucking great.
It is the crowdsourced character contest. I think it's the second one where he plays a character called Zero Fucks Boyd, but he's being like a zero fucks given person, but still doing the Joe Pera cadence.
Because Joe Pera famously is not a character.
No, yeah.
I remember him coming to because like you go home to Buffalo, there's a bunch of like comics come home type of shows, any sort of like town that has a few people. And I remember catching Joe Pera outside and him like it was Joe Pera, was it Dan Licata too, who's also great. But it was Joe Pera and Dan Licata, two of the most different comedians in the fucking world. But you talk to him outside and he's very gracious, very humble, just very like, I'm happy to be home and telling jokes. You're like, fuck, man. I love you. That's my tempo.
On Grift Horse with Megan Beth Keister and Howard Kramer, Megan's friends with him, and then Howard's like acquaintances with him. And I never hear Howard do impressions, but he will always do a Joe Pera impression. And whenever he's brought up, we'll start doing it. And it's very funny. Like, because the show's a lot about like selling stuff on eBay. And Joe will just send Megan like things of his because she said like, hey, I found one of your like crew jackets at a thrift store and it sold for like $250. And he was like, here's a bag of my shit. Sell it on eBay.
Joe Pera is a walking thrift store.
And on top of that,
does it better than Macklemore ever could.
She's like, oh, so how much of the cut do you want? And he's like, no, you can keep it all. You did the work. And she's like, I'm not going to keep this, Joe. It's your shit, man. Stop being nice.
Oh my gosh. I wish this was a Joe Pera podcast. Unfortunately, we got a whole album to get through.
We got to talk about Pimp Suit, baby.
So I was starting to suspect this might be but nope. I actually had a few notes on this one. It's not a sexy song unless you find stable business practices and pimping sexy. Like, especially in 2004, where like pimping was just a code for being suave and sexy. Like, no, this is pimping.
Well, in 2004 in rap music, every album had a pimping song in it.
But I feel like a lot of them were like, quote unquote, like music video pimping. I could be mistaken.
No.
That might be, okay. That probably came a little later. Then.
Probably, or earlier, because this is when like Magic Stick was coming out. Also, Hustle and Flow elevated that beyond belief of like, hey, you got to keep women on your payroll and, smack them if they get out of line.
Naturally. That's my tempo. That's not my tempo.
All the sex workers be loving my pimp suit. All the thugs be loving my pimp suit. All the riders be loving my pimp suit. All the bitches be loving my pimp suit.
Pimp suit. Pause real quick.
Yeah.
Are we about to move on? Mm-hmm. Can I take a pee-pee break?
Yeah.
Can we cut that out?
Yeah.
You promise?
Yeah.
If anybody in the universe knows that I pee,
Please go pee,
I will be
man.
so upset.
Now
Okay,
I
thank
have
you.
to keep this in.
I'm so sorry. Yep, I know. I know.
Sean came back really quick, so I feel like one of his roommates was in the bathroom.
Oh no. I just had a big pee.
Okay. Oh no, I thought you came back very quickly.
Oh no. I had a good but efficient pee.
Okay. Hell yeah. We get it cracking.
So I was
So
a
what's
little more
happening?
suspicious. Here's the thing. I was a little more suspicious. I wasn't full on yet. Because I didn't recognize it. I had to look it up, and this is the song, by the way, that they are sampling "Wangsta" by 50 Cent, which is a not as legitimate gangster. For those of you new children out there who may have never even heard of the term "Wangsta," and so for them, and then Kraken is all just like how fucking thug we are and how straight gangsta we are.
That's what all the songs are. It sucks.
Yeah, but especially and to call it Kraken, because it could also be interpreted as a white gangsta, a white suburban child, maybe from, I don't know, Michigan, claiming some of these inner city fucking lifestyles.
Ooh.
And like to call the song Kraken, which is the verb of cracker. Am I reading too deep into this? I don't know. How deep does this go? I don't fucking know.
It goes all the way to goddamn Sharna.
Is Sharna a fucking juggalo? I don't know.
Nah, from what I hear, she might be a little bit too bigoted to be a juggalo.
She's a Jeffaho. She's a juggalo that refuses to acknowledge fuck your rebel flag.
Yeah. Or I was going to say doesn't acknowledge, I believe, the 13th Amendment. If that's the correct, because I think it's the 13th, 14th, and 15th were part of like ratification.
I don't know. I host an ICP podcast.
I have been correct on like other amendments in the past, so I might be good.
Hey, but
We get it
yeah,
cracking, so what's happening? Don't get a rider while he'll start blasting. We make it crack-a-late until the night is late. If you get a rider wild, it's your last mistake.
James, I want to ask you on the conspiracy, because the whole conspiracy thing, that's a half bit. How much do you think that was a deliberate choice to call the song Kraken and to like use was it crack-a-late is the phrase?
Yeah.
Like, how deliberate is that of a choice for these however many white people to write this song using the sample Wangsta?
It's 6 white people and 1 black person.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh, yeah, because Esham's in there.
Yeah.
Is Esham on this song, though?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I still think it's deliberate. I still think there's a very deliberate choice to, like, essentially like a 50s. You know, like sometimes on Twitter, someone will, like, defend themselves against an accusation nobody made against them.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I feel like this is one of these situations where they're like, "Oh, we're not wanksters," and then meanwhile, 50's like, "This I wasn't thinking of you when I wrote this song, but now that you mention it, sure. Like it feels like a response to Wanksa.
Yeah.
Specifically. Yeah.
I don't know. I think they found the beat on LimeWire and said, we can use this.
Oh, that's
Because let me tell you this, Sean.
Go ahead.
Back in, I think, 10th grade, I made a song called Generation Imitate to this beat. Cringy as fuck.
Oh my gosh. I'm always curious. It's one of those things. There feels like there are too many coincidences in this song. Specifically, I'm very curious about this song. But it's the hard thing with them sometimes. How much of it is like circumstance and coincidence? It just kind of happens that way. And then how much of it is planned?
I think zero of this is planned. They, again, went to Napster, went to LimeWire, or someone had the CD single, ripped the instrumental, and said, we get it crackin'! Rydas don't make mistakes!
I respect that. Respectfully, though, I will keep my tinfoil hat, because I'm still not sure.
My sin boil gat. It's a gun that shoots like pus from boils at you. And they're genital boils.
Okay, where does
that's where the sin?
Because genitals are clearly sin.
Yeah,
Ken and Barbie are the only perfect human beings.
Yeah, dude. Nice.
Oh, what's the next track?
I think titties is genitals too, though.
What's the next track?
But if they don't have nipples, I guess
Which
they're not.
She doesn't. Exactly.
Oh.
She have breastises, no titties.
I draw nipples on all my Barbies.
Oh my gosh, James, what's the next goddamn track?
Gun smoke, worse than secondhand lung smoke. Smoke toke, fall asleep forever, never woke. Riders ride on every bitches until they broke. Gun smoke, slit throats, bitch don't get choked. Gun smoke, simmer down, ho, don't provoke. Gun smoke, better be the murder that the riders wrote.
So this is the track I noticed Bullet for the first time, really. And I kind of like some of the stuff he's doing on this. I wrote down off of his verse, I create gun smoke, but suckers never get to see that. And I don't know why that stuck out to me. I won't say profound, because that's not fair to anybody. But that phrase.
Sean, I think you need to read into this more. This is an ableist line. He's just shooting blind people.
Stop it.
No, man, really, if you look into it, the fact that they used, In Cold Blood by Kanye West and Scarface, it has to be that he's shooting blind people.
There's something about, I don't know, there's something about the acceptance, the overall, and it's weird. This is imperfect. This is me looking for roses in a shitstorm. Like, it's not, because they're not, it's fake. They are studio gangsters.
Yeah.
Purposefully. In their quote unquote search for parody, they're just studio gangsters. Something they said they would never do, I think, last album.
Probably.
But there is some, I don't know, there's some real awareness. There's just something sort of, there's a somber acceptance to that line, to that. I create gun smoke, but suckers never get to see that. I do this shit. And because in that sense, like, I don't know, I create stuff. Because, like, you have to write from somewhere, some space of metaphor. I create things that, like, really, when the people I'm hitting at, they don't get to see it. Not everyone gets to see my shit. I don't know. There's something about, I really don't know what it is, but something about that line just kind of like, just stuck.
Yeah, it's a nice line. I will say, to bring something back to the Dark Lotus episode, when you were saying, say what you will about WWE or AEW, these big places, like when people get independent, they have that freedom. But sometimes in the case of Dark Lotus, when you have all this indie freedom, you kind of do dumb shit. This is a prime example of that as well.
This whole project is a prime example of that.
Of just like, hey, no one is telling us we can't, so let's do. And then sometimes that's
there's
great.
no rule that a dog can't play basketball.
Yeah.
Let's let a dog play basketball. Problem is, in real life, if you put a dog on your basketball team, it's going to be a very bad basketball team.
Yeah, he's just going to be humping teen legs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming this is high school, right? Airbud, wasn't it? Middle school?
Airbud was high school. But I do, as you know, I'm very independently wealthy. I do own several NBA teams. I could put a dog on the Milwaukee Bucks.
If you're independently wealthy, how come I had to pay for the Otter commission and not you?
So the next song is Scrimps.
Okay, Scrimps is I was walking yesterday and it popped into my head. This is the dumbest, funniest song Psychopathic has ever put out.
So Scrimps, if you're new to this and you don't want to listen to this album, which by the way, we don't blame you, is Juicy by the Notorious B.I.G. Arguably his most famous, I think probably his most famous song.
Yeah.
Or
Hypnotize.
Hypnotize. But from one of many people's Mount Rushmore of hip hop.
Yeah.
Like, this is a huge song to like, and it's also a very deep song from the Notorious B.I.G. It's a very personal song. It's a very emotional song.
And then you have this song about like old gangsters, like living lavish, eating scrimp, which is just shrimp, and drinking.
It sounds like wet steak. It sounds like messy steaks.
Yeah.
From the I Think You Should Leave. Sounds like you just poured water on shrimp.
Yeah, it's so absurd and bonkers that I'm like, yeah, this is funny. Because it's so, and I don't think they were trying to be funny. They were trying to like make like a cool song, but it is so dumb.
Maybe. I think the humor is something you have to get out of a second, third, 10th listen, because all. No, but I mean that because the first time you're hearing it, and I think by now I realized what they were doing, by the unmitigated theft of the Juicy sample. I was like, you know what? I think I know what they're doing here, because I was just so taken aback. I couldn't process anything other than, oh. Like I couldn't. My brain ceased functions at that point, because like, how the fuck do you do Juicy?
Yeah. And you mentioned this before. I had the rule of 8s, I believe is what it's called, from The Simpsons, where, yeah, I listened to this album maybe 10 times around there this week. So, yeah, I was like, this is so fucking stupid, but it's like, it's unintentionally funny, I think.
I think that's fair. Well, it's definitely a rule of 8s. I think it's also, though, I feel like there are people. So the movie The Room, the Tommy Wiseau movie.
I wasn't going to bring it up because you bring it up all the time, and I don't have the affinity for The Room that other people have.
Which is fair. I do bring it up way too much. But I want to bring it up for this reason. I think when The Room first came out, there are people who maybe were super inundated into Mystery Science Theater style stuff. That probably saw it. Or you know what? Mystery Science Theater is a better example. People, when it first came out, I'm sure there are people that like turned it on for the first time and were like, these are just bad movies. Like, there's nothing enjoyable about that. And then after a while, like, you kind of like inundate yourself into that. I don't think there are too many people who jump into bad movie loving initially, like off the jump. I think you have to see it maybe once or twice to be like, oh, this is fun. And then as soon as you're inundated, you're off to the races. Like, you can see any bad movie for the first time and be like, yeah, this is fun. But I don't think too many people jump into it because you have to like, because it goes against your natural instincts. Naturally, instinctually, I want to like a good thing.
Yeah.
Liking a bad thing is, I don't know, it goes against my survivor instincts.
I grew up on Mystery Science Theater. I saw riff tracks do The Room, and there are some movies and I'm like, oh my God, I will watch this without the commentary of them doing it. But The Room was not one of them. I was like, I like my riff track dudes doing it, but no thing. Like, Birdemic is one of those. And I'm like, how could anyone not watch this with a riff track?
Birdemic I couldn't get into because they were trying to make a bad movie.
No, that dude wasn't.
Really?
Yeah, the director was not trying to he was just trying to make a movie.
Is he sure?
Yes.
Okay, I have to rewatch Birdemic then, because that shocks me. But I also say I watched The Room for the first time on Riff Tracks because we couldn't find it without. And then any time since I've seen The Room was with a group of friends.
That might be, yeah.
And that to me makes it like, I don't know. Well, At this point, because I've seen The Room enough times that I probably could sit down and watch it alone and clap my feet and be a happy little baby about it. But I'm at that point. Then I'm also thinking about watching The Room at Edo's place with all the Buffalo comics before we went to see the new Disaster Artist movie. There's some nostalgia now attached to The Room.
Oh yeah.
For me.
Can I bring up 3 movies, like good bad movies that I've recently seen?
Sure.
2 of them are 3 ninja movies. One is 3 ninjas knuckle up, and one is 3 ninjas kick back. One of them is a woman, or not even a woman, a tall man who is like dumping toxic waste on a Native American reservation.
Oh my God.
This girl confronts these the thugs of this man, and she's like, "Where's my dad? I know you took him." This girl's maybe 11 years old. They're at like a pizza parlor. And this is a low budget movie, so you can see everything. I need to say that for what's about to happen.
Okay.
This man says, "Oh, little girls shouldn't be drinking beer," pours a beer on her, and then grabs her by the shoulders and doesn't push her down, throws her on the ground. There is no padding on the ground.
Oh.
It's clearly not a stunt double. It's a child being thrown by a beef. And then these 3 boys come in and just wreck shit. Those are 2 of them. And I've been getting a lot of flack for this next one. Nicole and I watched Scream 2 on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
And that movie, all like the plot.
It's been years since I've seen any of a Scream movie.
The plot, the mystery, the like camera work, the setting, all of those are really good. But the dialogue, the acting, and especially the music cues make it so fucking campy that get high and watch it. I watched it originally when I was like 19 with an ex, and we loved all of the Scream movies. I think they're fun movies, but this one is a bad movie.
Okay.
It's fun still, but yeah, man, it's bad.
Heyo. And that is our bad, good movie review corner segments. Anything we can do to not talk about this album?
Yeah, and soon I think you're going to be, you have a 3 Ninjas movie in your future.
Oh no, when did I agree to that?
One of them has Hulk Hogan in it, and we might be doing it on the Patreon.
All right, I'm on board. If there's a Hulk Hogan out there, I'm gonna hate that guy.
It's baffling, man.
Dude,
Ride
so
Off.
we're on Ride Off, yeah. No, I take it back. Scrimps, I realized they were doing some of samples. Still didn't realize what they were doing yet. Ride Off is when I had to specifically look up what was happening. And that's when I found this website. So I did not realize by Scrimps what they were doing. It took me so fucking long to realize what they were doing. James, you don't understand how disappointed I am in myself.
Ride Off's fine.
Yeah, at first I thought it was Go to Sleep, but it absolutely wasn't. It just made me think of that.
The hook, for anyone who doesn't know, is I put a hole in your head and then I ride off, save the wasted breath on a buster and let my gat talk. Leave that ass dead on the motherfucking sidewalk, putting hot rocks in your frame, and then I ride off. That sucks.
Oh, no. And the sample, if anyone's interested, is The Knock by Nocturnal and Missy.
Oh.
It's like, I kind of want to check out that song because I didn't hate the sample. That's what this album, if this album did anything for me, there's a lot of just like, I should look that up. Yeah. I didn't hate the sample. Yeah. So it gave us something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next is Money Green.
Ooh, from Hey Lover by LL Cool J LL Cool J featuring Boys to Men. Another song. I need to look up Hey Lover because sounds cool. I bet it would sound better with LL Cool J and fucking Boys to Men. But whatever.
My nickname in high school was LLF Word James.
Are you proud of yourself?
I got called that a lot in high school, baby.
No, I know. It's just, oh yeah.
And by the F word, I mean the F slur.
Yeah, I figured.
I want my money and weed greener than the grayness. It just like smoke in my chest. I want my money and weed greener than the White House lawn. It's like smoking my bong.
Yeah, there's a lot of not very good hooks. I feel like this is a low point for hooks here.
See, I enjoy this song because it's just about smoking weed, and that's a reality they live.
You know what? Agreed. Also, I think one of my favorite lines is, I'm bringing, and guess who wrote it? I'm bringing all my money to hell. What's for sale? Like, just fucking moments like that. They're just like, maybe stop and be like, wait, this album's still trash, but like, wait.
Chill.
I don't know. Like, ugh. Bullet, dude.
Man, I'm bumping in my murder for hire, dude.
You know what? Nah. Another huge song.
Yeah.
Air Force Ones by Nelly. That song was huge. That song still is pretty fucking huge.
Yeah.
Like, not as big as Juicy, but like, how do you, the cojones, the unmitigated just gravy.
We murdering
To
for
rip
money
off.
and we're mob on the scene. It's black trucks busting shots in pursuit of the green. It's for the money, kid. Shut the fuck up and get shot. It's for the money, kid. Shut the fuck up and get shot.
So this is a fantasy role play song about, bounty hunting, being a killer for hire.
Yeah.
I didn't write it down, but someone's ends their verse, 100K a shot, and I got real bad aim. That's probably not what you want to put in the advertisement.
Yeah.
That's probably the opposite of good advertising.
I
I don't
mean-
think I want you to murder for hire for me, sir.
Unless they only murder for corporations and the government. So then it's like, yeah, griff those people. Get them for all they are worth.
Yeah, but I'm looking for a murderer. So like, what? I don't know. Maybe I'm being selfish, but I wish they would murder for me. You know?
Well, maybe the Rydas in 2020 do.
Maybe I'll hit him up. I'll see it. I'll price check him.
You ready to go on to guilty?
Yeah.
There's one really bad line in this, which is Shaggy says, I'm a criminal. Calling me that's like calling an R word dumb.
Yeah, it's very 2004.
Yeah.
I won't act like the thing is like I won't act like I wasn't using those phrases back in 2004. I absolutely was. I was also 14. Mm-hmm. And surrounded by a world of insane insane clown posse and insane clown posse inspired acts. I don't know, but like there are certain things you kind of I don't know if forgive is the right word, but you accept via context. That's just kind of one of them at the moment. Still sucks, but sucks.
When you're in sixth grade getting called the F slur all the time, you really are more sensitive to other people as well.
Fair. And I wouldn't know that because I was always super popular.
I don't think, were you?
The one song the one part I want to talk about this song, because here's where it really locked in that like shit, and I stand by. I said this before. I still stand by. I think Jay really fucking stretched some shit out. I think this is some of his better straight flow, not content. Because again, a lot of these songs he's writing about stuff he doesn't know. But I think his guilty. I just wrote down Bullet's whole verse where he's just having fun with it.
What's a line? I don't remember any of the verses. The only thing I remember him saying is like, we get it cracking with the pussy shit. Something like that in cracking.
So the last verse.
We popping pussy.
Bitch, I'm guilty, and because of it, I'm glad to be rich. I'm happy, got her fabulous. I fuck a raggedy bitch. I ride dirty, pull me over. Bullet is busted. He might have not checked the trunk. I take no chances. I ain't trust him. I'm a gangsta. Pigs call me Bullet the Monster. I'm demonstrating murder skills if anyone wants to. Writers are ready and guilty of all sorts. I've been blowing Richies out of golf courts. Keep it gangsta.
Oh yeah, that one's pretty good.
Like lyrically, some of the stuff is all right. I think out of anyone, again, Violence probably my favorite. I think he understands what he's doing when he writes in kind of like these like when he writes in these a little more generic, because at that point he's just writing horror fantasy leaning on a gangster side of things.
Yeah.
When he's doing that, it works. It's fine. but specifically his flow. I think he's tying syllables together in very interesting ways.
This is peak Violent J.
Yeah,
You are going to love him like post Shangri-La, probably up until like the next Joker's card.
I'm excited because this is it is weird. Like I had said before, I think like I can't recommend this album. I think you skip around, but it's worth it to kind of see just their skill progression.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about stuff. Yeah, Guilty's weird. Guilty's a weird one, but I thought that's the verse. I thought that I really checked in on what he was doing with the Bullet character. Fucking wild.
For the next one, all we need to comment on is Run That was, for years, people said it was a Dr. Doom, aka Cool Keith song.
Yes. Sorry, I confused. You keep saying Dr. Doom, which is the one Cool Keith project I have not listened to. So I always get confused with him and Emma. This is my brain haywiring. I'm wanting to correct you.
Okay, so here's some stuff that I read because I was looking into that album trying to find like what the sample is. And he has a diss to Dan the Automator. On
really?
Dr. Doom because there was conflict of who owned the Dr. Octagon stuff. And if Dr. Octagon was Cool Keith or if it was him and Dan the Automator. And I guess there was a big falling out between them. And
that's so sad.
He also says some racist stuff towards Dan on that.
That's not great.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but hey, guys, check out Deltron 3030 if you want some real good Dan the Automator production. Or the first Gorillaz album. Ooh, baby.
Oh, hell yeah. Fucking Dan the Automator is great. I'm real sad now.
There's even technically a Gorillaz song on that first Deltron because Damon Albarn is on one of the songs.
Time is Slipping, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that song's so fucking good.
Ooh, baby, it is.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm glad we're talking about that now instead of the fall of my heroes.
Yeah. And finally,
I wrote down one sentence.
Okay.
And I don't know what's wrong with me. All caps, considerably improved flow from previous ICB projects.
ICB, Insane Clown Bussy.
Hell yeah, baby. And then I wrote nothing for Last Ride. It existed.
Okay, so let's get into what I think the song should be.
Okay, that's fair.
I think
nothing.
Because this is an ICP playlist technically.
Okay.
And what is ICP? ICP is like juvenile humor and like absolute sincerity when it comes to death and the afterlife.
You're trying to argue for Scrimps, aren't you?
I am arguing for both Scrimps and Last Ride.
Last Ride is so boring, though.
I know Last Ride as a teen was the only song I would go back to on this one because it's sincere. I mean,
I guess I just want to, because I don't think either. Shit, I should have given this more thought.
Yes, this is how I win, baby.
It's because I didn't try hard enough. Because I do think there are moments like where like Violent J is really doing some of his best flow work in this terrible album.
Yeah, and Scrimps.
Scrimps wasn't my favorite, but again, Scrimps was so hard to get past Juicy. I agree with Scrimps. Yes, Scrimps I'm on board with.
Okay.
I want to fight for Kraken.
Oh man. Okay, yeah, I'll go with it. Kraken's fine.
And because again, maybe I'm reading too much into it. There's something very, and even if it's unintended irony, it is deep irony. Like the entire theme of the album could really be summed up by what is it? 5 white guys and 5 white guys, 1
6.
black.
Oh wait, no, actually, no. It would be 4 white guys, 1 half native, half white, 1 full native, and then 1 black man.
You know what? I'm gonna simplify it. I'm gonna put it as this: 2 white clowns and their friends.
Well, no. Shaggy's half native.
Is he really?
Yes, or part. I don't know if it's full half, but yes. I had to look that up because we were like going really in on their whiteness, but then I was like,
because those are 2 albums where all of a sudden an N-bomb is dropped, and you have to like look around and be like, can anybody say that here?
One person
like, you
can.
have to,
and-
go, okay, which was good to find out, but it wasn't him, as it
No.
turns out. No. Neither time was it. But like, yeah, there's something about just the irony of using Wangsta, which was,
oh, yeah.
that song. It's just so, it wraps up so much of what this album ended up being.
Also, further irony because it was produced, I believe, by a D12 member. They were beefing with D12 because I think that's Mr. Porter's beat. You talk and I'll verify that.
Yeah, it's so, there were just so many moments of just like, if they really knew what they were doing, they might be brilliant.
I am incorrect. It was Shaw Money XL.
Okay.
But still, it's a 50 Cent Shady Records. It's still, there's more layers than just it's Wangsta.
I don't know. This might get on the playlist more because it exists than it's actually like good. But the fact that it exists is mind blowing. Mm-hmm. That's just wild. So okay, yeah. If you don't mind, because Scrimps is for the same reason. How do you take Juicy and do that to Juicy? I'm not mad. I'm impressed.
Can I say something? Some
Please.
juggalo ran into the Wikipedia for Wangsta because the instrumental for the song was used for Kraken, a song by the Psychopathic Rydas in 2004.
Hell yeah, juggalos, get known. Fucking get over, you beautiful marks. Oh, all right. Do you want to read reviews for this album?
Oh, there were none. I thought I said that up front, but no, there were.
You did, but that's funny as hell to me.
No, I think there was one on Amazon, and that's it. But I would like to explain what's for the future of this show. Next week, we're discussing the pendulum. Mm-hmm. And I bought I found a website, will not say the website because they price comics how they're supposed to be priced instead of eBay just gouging prices. Someone must have turned in a bunch of the pendulum and I was able to get them for around, I think I got 9-10 issues plus a Street Sharks comic that I'll be sending to Howard Kramer because he loves Street Sharks for $30. Okay. So I have all of those. We also have digital copies of them that someone scanned in. And guys, I read the ones that I had before ordering. It's great. It's dumb fun. I'm excited to talk about it. But then after that, before we get into Shangri-La, we're sitting down with Sean and we're going to get his thoughts of, hey, we've done with him 14 episodes or so. What's his mind thinking with all this ICP going into the final? And then we're going into Shangri-La. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I cry.
I want to say this now. The worst thing this podcast has done to me is that now when I hear my friend James is excited about something like these comics, there's a pit in my stomach. I expect so little out of these comics.
Oh,
right now.
No, you should.
Okay, great.
But there is one thing the first thing that made you interested in ICP was
the lore.
And this shit is so jam-packed. This reads like a Kevin Smith, Silent Bob and Jay and Silent Bob comic where there's so much text and it's but it's nice and well drawn of that kind of Image era comics.
Do you follow? Quick tangent. We might have to edit this out. Do you follow OSW reviews on YouTube?
No.
All right. Maybe we want to edit this out. There, because shout them out if you're a wrestling fan, especially. Old School Wrestling Review is 3 Irish fellows that will review old wrestling pay-per-views, and they're great. They're very fun. They recently had an episode covering the Ultimate Warriors comics, and the Ultimate Warrior is a fucking crazy person, and his comics are so I'm anticipating some of that energy of that, beautifully drawn but wild shit.
Dude, they're great. It feels like The Crow meets ICP meets Image Comics.
Those are 2 out of 3 things I really enjoy.
It's dope, man. There are minimum 3 police officers killed in every issue.
Oh my god. Those are 3 out of 4 things I really enjoy.
And there was a D20 style role-playing supplement. We will be playing that with some of the
Wait.
Hit It and Crit It guys.
Wait, say those words in that order again, please.
There was like a D20 system, I should have said, like where you
Like-
rolled like the dice
Like a
and stuff.
Dungeons and Dragons role-playing game.
Yes.
I can role-play as a juggalo?
Yes.
What the fuck is happening?
Oh, did I not tell you this?
no!
Did I just send this to the Hit It? So Lil Corey,
What?
who was on Big Money Hustlers, our friend Jose, Joe, and Rudy, we do a D&D podcast. We haven't been able to do it because of, I don't know, not being able to be in the same room with 5 people because of the virus.
To exist. It hurts to exist with this knowledge. This
So,
is out there.
A couple of them agreed to it, so I will be DMing eventually further down the road for real. I'll put it into 5e because 5e is what D&D should have always been, opposed to, I think this was 3.5 style rules.
Which, yeah, it was.
Which is
I remember
this-
trying to get my friends into D&D when I was like 12. I was 12 years old. When I was trying to get friends into D&D, it was around 3.5, and it was just like impossible.
Yeah.
Too much for a bunch of 12-year-olds. 5e is not too bad though.
5e is just like, when you think of
love
like,
5e.
hey, how do you play D&D? It's 5e is what comes to mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the plans
my
for the
God.
future of this. Sean, what you got to plug?
There is an insane clown posse role-playing game. Nothing I plug is going to beat that information. Live with your lives as best as you can, knowing this is out there.
The truth is out there.
Juggalos are the new elves. Deal with it, fucking haters.
Hey guys, speaking of haters, I'm about to get some. I'm kidding. By saying Scream 2 is a bad movie, that's where I'm going to get the haters. Guys, over on patreon.com/MLM pod, we are doing a giveaway. It's a Tokusatsu bundle giveaway. It comes with like a Tokusatsu comic, a pop figure of Toei's Spider-Man, some pins of Godzilla and Power Rangers, all this good stuff. If you sign up for the Patreon and you're on the Patreon by the end of February, start of March, you'll be able to be put into a raffle to get this giveaway. If you're on the $5 tier, you'll get 1 entry. If you're on the $10 tier, you'll get 2 entries. And there's full details located on patreon.com/MLM pod. Anyone can read that. It's a public post. But over on the $5 tier, you get podcasts every single month, and Sean he's been on a few of the episodes. He's great, guys. I'm great. You love us. Yahoo! So check that out. Go over to MLMpod.com for my other podcasts and my music. But if you're a $10 patron, shouldn't have said the MLM pod stuff, $10 patrons get shout outs. So if you're like, you have a Juggalo handle and you want that shouted out every time, you would start on the $10 tier if you're asking me anything. So let's begin with Steve F.
Baba Booey.
Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, who's going to be a daddy soon.
Daddy Booey.
Alex Z. The Waz.
Wazabooey.
Orion, he's a rapper. Defo, D-F-O. Check him out.
Ba-hyphen-booby. That was harder to say than I thought it was going to be.
Kayla, a.k.a. Two Grapes.
Two Great Booey.
Tyler Wright, he's my friend.
Friend of Booey.
He's also already a daddy. Elliot W. at Garlic Sunshine on Instagram.
Garlic Booey.
Jordan B. the Chaos Witch.
Chaos Booey.
Nicole's brother, a.k.a. my Bickle, my brother in common law, Joshua. Joshua?
Brother Booey.
And last week's guest, Steve Barnes, a.k.a. Intro Void. Follow him on Spotify and Substack.
Barnes a Booey.
Oh, yeah. All right, Sean, this was an under 2-hour record. Yahoo!
Hooray!
Still too
Oh my
long
gosh.
for this. Wow. All right, guys. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This has been Never Not Fago.
AK-47, gone, not forgotten.
This has been a Marshland Media production, produced by James McCollum. For more content, please visit MLMpod.com. To support our network and have access to exclusive podcasts, head over to patreon.com/MLMpod and sign up today. Oh. Oh, yeah.